On a Wednesday morning in October, Elon Musk entered Twitter headquarters carrying a white bathroom sink just to be able to tweet that he was about to take control of the company, adding, "Let that sink in." Twitter has been an increasingly popular social media platform, but in the months following the takeover, there's been many signs the company is falling apart. But is Elon Musk killing Twitter? Let's take a closer look. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am political commentator Randall Fink. A lot of people have become very angry with Elon Musk, so to understand why, we'll start by looking at how Musk took over the company and the relationship he's built with the Twitter employees. Because after all, if you buy a ferry company but no sailors want to work for you, all you've got is a stranded ship. Following his takeover, Elon Musk fired the company board, making himself the sole director of the company. Twitter had been employing 7,500 employees, but among all those cool people at Twitter Elon had been tweeting about, he ended up parting ways with 11 out of every 15 employees. Some staff members were fired on terms which they described as a breach of contract. Other employees were never informed about their firing, but just found out that their system access had been revoked. And one Icelandic employee even learned his career at Twitter had ended from a series of tweets where Elon Musk ridiculed him in front of 133 million people who follow Elon Musk on Twitter. Who in their right mind treats employees like that? And remember, all of these employees were not just flipping burgers. They worked on one of the most complex internet technologies and facilitated the social media dialogue between hundreds of millions of users around the world. And at Twitter, much of this knowledge is now gone. Journalists have learned the Twitter press department is now replaced by an email account which automatically replies to any questions they might have with a poop emoji. Apparently, this is something the very grown-up Elon Musk finds very funny. And users have been complaining many Twitter features are not working properly. In December, multiple Twitter accounts reported that Ukrainian Twitter users were unable to log in because the two-factor authentication no longer worked in Ukraine. And the entire platform has been down multiple times. Worst of all, in Canada, researchers have revealed how the few remaining employees at Twitter have been unable to keep Russian bot accounts at bay. This means Putin is now able to influence the opinion of Canadian voters, thereby attempting to undermine Canada's willingness to support Ukraine. But does all of this mean Twitter is about to go bankrupt? Well, the financial forecast certainly has dark clouds on the horizon, because many of the advertisers which are the company's primary source of income have ended their collaboration with Twitter. Elon Musk is known as an unconventional businessman, and the advertisers saw the chaos coming from a mile away. Already in the weeks up to Elon Musk taking over, half of Twitter's top 100 advertisers were heading for the exit. Obviously, this has caused serious financial problems for the company. And in March, Financial Times reported at least 9 lawsuits had been filed because Twitter is no longer paying the bills. A former senior employee told the paper how Elon Musk, when asked about the bills, would simply reply, "Let them sue." It's now been 5 months since Musk took over, and this week we learned Elon Musk himself admits Twitter is worth much less than when he bought it. In fact, the value of Twitter has dropped from the purchasing price of $44 billion to less than $20 billion. So what is Elon Musk's response to advertisers leaving? Apparently, it is to let Twitter users pay for his mistakes. Since his takeover, he's been bugging everyone with the idea of paying $8 per month for access to features of the social media platform. A platform which has been free since its introduction in 2006. And remember, Twitter is competing with Facebook, Instagram, and many other platforms which are all free. Now, there's nothing unusual about a so-called freemium business model where casual users use a service for free, while other more dedicated users pay a subscription fee to get access to new features, or perhaps to remove the ads. But Elon Musk has a very unorthodox take on this. He has removed features which were already freely available to everyone to instead make them part of the subscription. And even when subscribing, users are still seeing ads. One existing feature Elon Musk has removed is two-factor authentication using SMS. Another really odd example was requiring payment for the feature of being able to edit your social media posts, something which of course is free on Facebook, YouTube and everywhere else. Most problematic was Musk's attack on the Twitter verification system. Twitter verification adds a checkmark icon to popular user accounts of politicians, sports people, musicians, international companies, and so on. This important checkmark has been around since 2009, where Twitter introduced a verification process whereby employees at Twitter verified the identity of popular accounts, so every Twitter user could trust the information served by these accounts. While anyone could create an account named Emmanuel Macron, there was always only one account carrying the checkmark, the official account of the French president. It was a win for everybody. VIPs and companies around the world avoided being impersonated, and everyone could avoid being misinformed by accidentally following the fake accounts. As a consequence, Twitter itself became a much more trustworthy information source. This has been an essential part of Twitter's success. Over the years, Twitter became the place where news broke, and you could trust the breaking news. All of that went out the window because Elon Musk now wanted the verification system to be a feature of his unpopular subscription service. Instead of important accounts being thoroughly verified by Twitter, now anyone paying the monthly fee can get a checkmark and start impersonating someone else. Obviously, this has led to a myriad of problems. Computer game company Nintendo was impersonated by an account which flipped the bird to Nintendo's fans. Fast food company McDonald's was impersonated by an account which told the world the company would now serve meat beyond the expiration date. And American pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly was impersonated by an account which tweeted their expensive insulin would now be free. The real Eli Lilly desperately tried to correct the fake news, but the damage was done and their stock price lost more than 4%. In 2018, Elon Musk revealed he doesn't think the world is real, but that we are most likely in a simulation. I don't think McDonald's or Eli Lilly would agree. To them, it's not a game. The consequences of his mismanagement of the company are very real. Worst of all is how Elon Musk has hurt Twitter as one of the world's most important platforms for political debate. Over the years, Twitter became a town square where everyone could present their views, political NGOs could fight for their cause, and politicians could present their political platform. In many ways, Twitter was now an essential infrastructure for our democracies. In the Kingdom of Denmark, Twitter has been so important for political debate, almost all members of parliament used to be active on Twitter. Among Danish politicians, Twitter has been referred to as the intranet of Christiansborg, which is the name of the Danish parliament. And in Germany and in the UK and many other Western countries, Twitter has been the most essential medium for trusted, real-time updates from politicians. For over a decade, it felt like there was an unwritten agreement between Twitter and political actors that Twitter would provide a safely moderated, politically neutral space for debate. And in return, everyone interested in politics moved their debate onto Twitter, where Twitter could then serve ads, make money, and build an even better platform. But this essential synergy is now gone. Elon Musk fired dozens of employees responsible for making Twitter a well-moderated platform for everyone. And now hate speech is skyrocketing. To the disappointment of many, Elon Musk has not valued being a politically neutral leader. News articles have revealed how Elon Musk has banned users he didn't agree with. Even journalists writing about Twitter were removed from the platform. The Verge reported how Elon forced Twitter employees to change Twitter's algorithm, allegedly in an attempt at making Elon Musk more visible than the US President Joe Biden. As a result, users were now complaining his tweets were all over their feed. The point is this: in many countries, Twitter was seen as a neutral facilitator of political debate, but now Twitter has become a messy butcher's shop where Elon Musk decides how much meat you get by putting a finger on the scale. Less than 2 weeks after his takeover in the middle of the US midterm elections, Musk tweeted, "I recommend voting for a Republican Congress." Think about that for a second. If politics was like ice hockey, who would want to play ice hockey in an ice skating ring owned by one guy who makes the rules and functions as the sole game referee and declares he wants his own favorite team to win. That is what Twitter has become. There's still an app called Twitter, but the Twitter we knew and loved has been killed by Elon Musk. To some users, it may not matter that Elon Musk is Elon Musk, but to many of us, it does. To journalists who've been blocked, it matters. To politicians who see Elon Musk favoring a particular party, it matters. To the Ukrainians unable to log in, it matters. And to all the lesbians, the gays, the transsexual, and every other minority who is now a victim of hate speech on Twitter, it matters. What Elon Musk has done would be a catastrophe for the democratic world if Twitter was our only option. But the world is what we make it. And luckily, there are many great social media platforms out there. The choice is yours.